What's up, everyone, and welcome to Project XTalk Extra, your weekly podcast supplement from Project XTalk. This is where we cover news stories that didn't quite make the main show. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Man, and today I'm joined by the man without a nickname, Ethan. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We've been abandoned. It's
I
just you and me now.
know everyone decided they were gonna leave. I
What,
don't
Halo's not
understand.
important enough? Come on now.
I apparently not. Apparently they're like, listen, 2 hour podcast. That's all you're getting from me. But some of us are committed. So,
Yeah.
but guys, before we get into the show, make sure to check out the podcast from this week. It was a breakdown of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Uh, Remember, we are live every Thursday on youtube.com at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So come hang out with us. If you can't catch us, we post Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Most of our audio goes up 9 a.m. Eastern time every single weekday. So you can listen to us or watch us every single day, no matter what we're doing. We got a video for you. If you leave us a review, we will read it live on the podcast. And we have a Patreon. If you want to support us, $1 a month gets you early access to all of our content. And by early access, I don't mean like 3 days. I mean, as soon as the video is done, you get it. It could be weeks ahead of time. If that sounds great, please, $1 a month, the general support, we would appreciate it. It does help us make the channel better. And if you want to get generous and subscribe at the $5 tier, you can choose what games I play for Xbox Game Pass and review. But Project XTalk Extra, we're here to talk about news.
Oh, yeah.
For the news story, Halo Infinite was the second best-selling game in December. I'm pulling from Windows Central. The NPD group has shared results for December 21st or 2021 and the entire year of 2021 as per Matt Piscatella. And Halo has ranked second in December NPD numbers, right behind Xbox's brand new IP, Call of Duty. For the entire list for 2021 goes as follow. Number 1 is Call of Duty Vanguard. Number 2 is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Number 3, Madden NFL 2022. 4, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. 5, Battlefield 2042. 6, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. 7, Mario Kart 8. 8, Resident Evil Village. 9, MLB The Show 21. 10, Super Mario 3D World. 11, Far Cry 6. 12, FIFA 22. 13, Minecraft. 14, Animal Crossing New Horizons. 15, NBA 2K 2022. 16, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 17, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. 18, Back 4 Blood. 19, Mortal Kombat 11. And rounding out the top 20, Forza Horizon 5. Is important to note that these do not include digital sales and even Xbox. Xbox digital sales are not included. So I wanted to talk with you, Ethan, because out of the games in the list, 5 of the 20 are currently on Game Pass, and only 1 is an Xbox first party. We know Halo sold well in December, but overall for the year, Xbox only had 1 title break the top 20 for game sales. Is Game Pass negatively impacting game sales?
I mean, obviously it is. It's impacting the sales of people going out and paying $60 to buy it. And I'm someone who collects physical copies of games, so I used to buy physical copies until I got Game Pass. I just can't justify spending the $60 to get a physical copy when I can just download it. So obviously, yeah. I would be interested to see what the numbers are with included Game Pass, because Game Pass makes some money. I don't know the exact way how, but it's obvious that it's a profitable system. So I think you would see a lot more Xbox titles up here if you counted Game Pass stuff. I mean, I'm looking at the list right now. It's still incredible to me that there are some of them that did break the top 20, even with them being on Game Pass. It's pretty impressive how much it's affecting the whole industry and how we spend our money on games.
Yeah. So Minecraft, obviously, we're not. That one is going to sell no matter what.
Right.
Minecraft is
Yeah.
a phenomenon, but
There's a few on here that are just kind of like yearly, like Mario
yeah,
Kart, Minecraft, Animal Crossing, stuff like that.
I will be interested to see next year, or maybe not next year, maybe in 2 years, once the acquisition of Activision Blizzard is done, is Call of Duty still the best-selling game of the year? I'll be interested to see that and seeing if Game Pass affects those sales. Halo coming in at number 2 for December, I think is great. It shows people still went out and bought it in December.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that not including digital sales is probably skewing this, if we're honest, because Xbox gamers, I think, are conditioned to buy digital games more than physical because of Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Xbox buys less games because I don't think that's inherently true. I think that they don't purchase physical media because Game Pass is an all digital service. They most likely have 25 million users of the install base of 50 to 60 million. That's a good chunk that are getting digital games. Like
Yeah.
they have them. So I think physical is probably skewing this a little bit. But even then, looking at the games that are on Game Pass on that list that still sold well, Back for Blood, huge surprise to see it on this list.
Yeah, that was a
Huge.
big surprise for me because from what I heard, because I didn't play it because I'm terrified of zombies, but from what I heard, it wasn't that great of a video
It's
game.
not.
You know,
It's not.
people were very upset about it. It being billed as Left 4 Dead 3, everyone was like, "No,
It
that's not
wasn't.
what this is."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's surprising to see Forza break into the list. With that being a racing game, usually those don't sell as well as some of these other IPs. So it's pleasant to see them up there, and I am surprised.
Forza is one I'm not really that surprised about because we know it has crossed the 15 million player mark. They have an in-game counter to show how many people are active, and it hit 15 million. It hit
Yeah.
10 million like very quick. Like it was a hit. It's a phenomenon. It's the highest rated game of last year. So
Mhm.
I'm not that surprised to see it sold well. But I want to know how many of that 15 million are Game Pass because in my mind, why would you not get it through Game Pass?
Yeah,
Like
most are they have to be through Game Pass, and I think you're
apparently
gonna.
not because they hit the 20th mark is what, you
It's
know?
crazy to me that people would still buy just a regular physical. I feel like you have to incentivize me to go out and buy a physical copy now if you're going to put it on Game Pass. For example, Halo Infinite was actually selling a steelbook case for the base price of $60. I almost
Mhm.
bought that because it was steelbook. I think you're going to have to start adding some more value onto these physical purchases to make it a more premium experience because gone are the days where I'm buying $120, collector's edition stuff just because I can pay 20 or 15 bucks a month to get this for free. So it's hard to sell it now.
Yeah, I think that's a good talking point because we're seeing more and more physical discs not actually have anything on them. The Halo Infinite disc is useless. There's nothing on the Halo Infinite disc.
Right.
I remember people got it early, put it in their Xbox, and could not play the campaign because the campaign is not on the disc. There's nothing on that disc.
Really?
Yeah. If you got it early, you could
Ooh,
not download the campaign. You still had to wait to download it from the internet from when 343
that's
pushed it live.
weird. I don't like that.
So it's unfortunately, I think that's a direction a lot of games are going, where the discs are more or less going to be collector's items,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to download something in order to play it.
And
I
that's really
know.
sad to me because I think there's a broader discussion that we can have in the future about video game preservation and actual ownership of video games. Because, in my opinion, if you have a digital edition, you don't own that video game. Like, if you bought the collector's edition of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 on the Xbox store and didn't have it downloaded on your thing whenever it kicked it offline due to licensing, you don't have that game anymore. It's a waste of money. So there's issues with it. But I do want to go back to your point about Call of Duty and it being the top.
Mhm.
You had asked, do I think it's going to stay there
Yeah.
with this acquisition? And it really just depends on what Microsoft's business strategy with it is. If you see it go to Game Pass and it's exclusive to Xbox, absolutely not. It's not going to be in the top 20 anymore because everybody that plays Call of Duty is just going to go, oh, I can get my yearly Call of Duty for free if I just sign up for this thing. Cool, that's what I'm going to do, and they're going to pay for it for 4 months and then get rid of it when they're done with their Call of Duty. If they decide to keep it on PlayStation, which I made it clear in the podcast that I don't think that's going to happen, but
Mhm.
if by some chance it happens, they're definitely going to be up there. They're definitely. I don't think they're going to be 1 and 2 like they are now for December, but they're definitely going to be up there still if they keep it on PlayStation because there's a lot of PlayStation players love their Call of Duty and they will pay that $70 to get it.
Yeah. No, I think I'm in the same mindset with you. I'm really interested to see what happens, depending on where Call of Duty is or is not in the future,
Mhm.
how it affects sales. I wonder what game will rise to take the number one and two spot from it. Like the entire landscape of game sales could be looking a lot differently in the future.
You know what I think is with Game Pass and soon to be Spartacus coming from PlayStation. I think when you get these yearly lists coming out of the top games sold, it's going to be nothing but Nintendo titles, to be quite honest. And the bottom bit is going to be some PlayStation and Xbox scattered in. But I think you're going to see a ton of first party Nintendo titles be up there on the list. I think you're going to see Kirby be up there on the list this year. I think you're going to see whatever, maybe Pokemon Arceus. I don't know how that's going to
Mhm.
hit. I bet against that in the Fantasy Critic because it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But you're going to see a ton of Nintendo because Nintendo's not going to do a subscription service type thing. They've tried. It didn't really work. They're doing some cool stuff with their backlog of NES and SNES and
Oh,
other games like that.
I hate what they're doing over there.
It's a terrible emulation, but some games are working fine. But yeah, I think you're going to see a ton of Nintendo products because everyone in gaming, they're going to look at the value and they're going to be like, no, I'm just going to pay for the subscription service so I can play God of War and
Mhm.
Halo day and date. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. I think that goes back to the overall business talking points and strategy of Microsoft, where they're now like gamers don't want to ship out $60-$70 per game.
It's a lot
They
of money.
It's a lot of money. This allows people to play more games in more places, try new games, and then if they do like it, they can spend that money because people are buying games, not liking them, feeling ripped off, getting refunds. There's a whole rigmarole
Yeah,
of, you know, spending $60-$70 for a product that may or may not be good
yeah,
is a frustrating experience for the consumer, and it leads to bad things.
yeah. This is
Um,
definitely one of the more expensive and risky hobbies that you
yeah.
can have is gaming because I mean all you have is trailers that are cherry picked by the companies to show you before you drop a significant amount of money. Some people $60 is a lot of money and some people can only afford maybe one game a month, maybe a couple games a year
Mhm.
even. I know people that have to wait until sales to pick up games because they can't afford to drop the $70.
Yeah, there's a whole
So
subreddit dedicated patient gamers. There's a whole
yep.
subreddit dedicated to people who do not buy games until years after
Yeah.
release because
And
they're not paying.
I'm so happy that this is starting to become more of the norm because those players can finally experience these games day and date. Like we all like those of us that can that end up shelling out the $60 to buy these games. So
Mhm.
it's exciting.
Yeah, there are very few games that make me spend full price these days.
Yeah.
Especially now, I'm playing a lot more indie titles than ever before. Game Pass has made it incredibly easy to just find a game I never thought I would like and play. So I think it's becoming an antiquated system. I don't think game sales are really going to be representative of success in the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, right now, great. Microsoft, I think they're forward looking. I don't think
Mhm.
they're really concerned like, oh, Forza hit 20, but nothing else we put out managed to crack.
Yeah.
I don't think they're really concerned. I don't think they need to be concerned. Again, these are conversations that they're having internally. They know what's going on and they're looking at this stuff. But
Yeah.
that's all I got to say for this episode. You got anything?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, where can they find you, Ethan?
They can find me on Twitter at WhiteCedar1 and also on Xbox at Gravy3448. Gonna be playing some extraction people this next week. Let's go. Join in.
and
So fun.
and and you can find me at the Muffin Mon. It's a one instead of an I and an O instead of an A. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We will see you guys next time.